Officially, Namaskaram. Welcome to the Indology Academy series. Welcome, everyone. This morning, at least my morning, we have Dr. Shwetamari Chote with us. She's an author and co-founder of Swasti Yoga Center, Pune. She has a Doctor of Medicine in Homeopathy from Maharashtra University of Health Science, Nasik. She's obtained a Master's of Arts in Yoga. She was a gold medalist. And she's also a certified level 3 yoga teacher and evaluator from the Ministry of Ayush. As we know, the Ministry of Ayush is the ministry responsible for advancing all these wonderful indigenous medicines and techniques such as yoga. And in addition to being a homeopathic consultant, Dr. Chote's expertise is in antenatal and kids yoga. And she has a number of articles in both books published on the topic of yoga. So we wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Chote with us. Dr. Shwetamari Chote, welcome to the Indology Academy webinar.
Yes, thank you so much, Anjali ji, for the wonderful introduction. And I would love to speak over here. And actually, I would love to thank everyone, actually, Indology team, who gave us this platform to speak on. So thank you so much. So today's topic, everybody might be knowing that yoga for working movement. Actually, every movement is working, is not specified. The whatever she might be working at home or office, every job is important. So I thought of taking this topic, yoga for working movement. And actually, whenever we are talking about the yoga is our lifestyle. It's not 1 or 2 days thing that we have to do, that the things that we have to do in everyday life, and we have to incorporate in our lifestyle, like we are eating, sleeping, the same way we have to incorporate these things in our lifestyle. It's a very, very important thing. So thank you so much, Anjali ji. Now we will start with today's topic. Before going, I would love to chant 3 rounds of Omkar and Patanjali pair, my offering to the Patanjali ji. Because of him, we are understanding the yogic principles. So we will start with 3 rounds of Omkar. For that, I would love to ask everyone that please keep your spine erect. Close your eyes. Just try to observe your breath. Slow inhalation and exhalation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale and chant Om. Inhale. Inhale. Now please join your palm. Inhale. Yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharira sacha vaidyakena yopagarutam pravarunina patanjali pranjali ranatosmi. Meaning of prayer, let us acknowledge the work of sage Patanjali, who gave us knowledge of yoga for serenity of mind, who gave us knowledge of grammar for purity of speech, and medicine for perfection of health. Now slowly and gently rub your palms on each other. Try to feel the friction of your palm. Try to feel the energy generation warmth. Now slowly put your palms on your eyes. Feel the warmness of your palm. Slowly and gently open your eyes behind your palm. Look at the darkness. Slowly increase the gap between your fingers. Let the light rays enter in your eyes. Slowly take your palms down, moving from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. Namaste. So, namaste everyone. Now I would love to share my slide PPT over here. Just a minute. Yes, now it's visible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our today's topic, yoga for working women, incorporating practices in daily life. So just Happy Women's Day and Women's Month to everyone. Just we celebrated this day very wonderfully. So the women are the pillar, epitome of strength and courage. So I wish them a very, very, very happy International Women's Day. Just we celebrated this day, and that's why I thought of taking this topic. So it's a token of thing from my side to help all the females on this world. So I would love to share this topic or dedicate this topic to all the females, all the colleagues, friends, mothers, sisters, everybody. So this since ancient times, women has been worshipped as a feminine energy in various cultures. In Hindu culture, it has been known as a Shakti. So in Mahanirvana Tantra, Shiva addresses Shakti as a supreme manifestation of universe. From her only entire universe is being manifested. Thus, by worshipping her, the devotee can achieve supreme consciousness, or he can knows about the universal thing. So this has been written in ancient textbook named as the Mahanirvana Shastra or Mahanirvana Tantra. So she is called as Shakti in Hinduism, Aphrodite in Greece, Venus in Rome, Isis in Egypt. So there are the names are different, but the power is one behind it. So it's a very important to phrase, because nowadays we forget to phrase her. Nowadays she only forget or the taking care of herself. We all the time were thinking for the other people around us, the family members, the kids, and everybody. We are thinking about them, but we are not giving importance to ourselves. So my question is here, how many times you said thank you to yourself? When was the last time you said love you to yourself? Can you tell me any of them, like Priyanka ji, Naina ji was there, is there, the Anjali ji? Yes, can you tell me when was the last time you said love you to yourself? Just recollect. And recollect the thing, when was the last time you said thank you to your husband or the family member or daughter, kid, whatever people living around you? So this is how the proportion of how we are appreciating ourselves. It is very, very important to appreciate ourselves. We all are forget to consider ourselves. Actually, whenever the things come in front of you, if anybody asks, we immediately look toward the husband or the father, what to say, yes or no. But it should not be like that. If you have your own choice, it is very, very important to look toward your system, toward your mind, toward your heart, what it is saying. So it is very important to say every day to love yourself. So this is just a kind of thing that you can write to yourself. It is very important. Writing is one of the important thing. I write a poem in Marathi. Actually, I want to keep this Marathi language in this. So I've been writing poems in Marathi. So I have a habit of writing. So I usually ask everybody to write. So if you are not able to say thank you to yourself, at least write for yourself. So always in the morning, if you say thank you to yourself, or you are doing whatever things, you just appreciate the things that you did for the people as well as society. You can appreciate, it will give energy to go ahead with that. So always write it down that I know whatever you are doing, the best thing, you believe in yourself, you love yourself. It is very, very important. And always say thank you to yourself, and let's see what kind of energy that you get to go ahead a whole day. So I mostly ask to my patient, because there are a lot many females comes to me with a various problem. So I ask them to write it down. What are the 3 important things that makes you happy? So I ask you all, just take a pen and write it down, or you can write it down on your phone. Nowadays, our electronic world is there. You can write it down in notepad. What are the 3 things that makes you happy? So just take a minute for yourself now, because I know if I ask you to write it down after the session, you have a lot of work, you have to cook a food, you have other appointments are there, and you are not able to. So just take a minute and write it down. What are the 3 things that makes you happy? And that is for yourself. I'm not going to ask you what are that. Okay, just write it down and try to read that thing every day in the morning. Try to read that thing every day in the morning and see the tremendous change within you within these 3 months. If you are reading that thing every day and you are trying to do that 3 things, and these things are very, very, very minute things for you, but it is very, very important for your life. It gives you energy to survive, to go ahead. It gives you energy to work whatever you are doing for the society as well as you yourself. So since childhood, females are facing many changes in their life, like at the teenage or pubertal age, the menstruation occur, the hormonal changes has been occurring. Many girls are facing many problem, abdominal pains, cramps, and if this menstrual cycle is a normal phenomenon, still they are facing the problem having back pain during the menstruation or the abdominal cramp. These are the changes are happening at pubertal age. When she get married or during the parturition or the pregnancy, different changes are happening. At the age of menopause or the age of 40 to 60, they are facing different changes. So these all changes are physiological. I'm not saying that they are all pathological. These are our physiological, normal changes are happening as she grows up. But if you are not giving importance or paying attention to that changes, there are chances of these changes, whatever going on, may turn up into the pathological changes. So it is very, very important to give attention to these changes of life. So now I would love to ask you all, anybody knows about this system, what this system is? Can anybody tell what system, what does this system is and where it is located? Yes, Naina ji, very good. Yes, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Okay, yes.
Women's reproductive organ.
Yes, and where it is located, ma'am?
It's uterus. It's in the pelvic region.
Yes, very good. Actually, when many patients are coming to me, females coming to, they didn't even know which organ is this and where it is located. That's why I would love to actually say I added this diagram here to introduce about your system, because this is the system that makes you different from other, and this is the system responsible for everything whatever I just said before slide. So this system is called as female reproductive system. It is located in the lower pelvic region of abdomen. Okay, if you go just below, 4 fingers below the umbilical region, belly button, this system is located, and which is responsible for the menstruation or the reproduction in female. So here you can see the first is the external organ that is called as vagina. Here is the cervix is there. Ovaries are the endocrine glands which is responsible for the production of female gonads. Then this fallopian tubes also very important for carrying this female gamete toward the uterus. Uterus is the place where the fetus grows. Okay, if the fetus is not there, fertilization doesn't happen, doesn't the shedding of uterus happen and menstruation happen. So menstruation is what? Menstruation is a 28-day cycle where the process of throwing out a follicle which is being generated through the ovaries, which is been, when it is not used, then it is thrown out of the body along with the blood. That process is called as menstruation. And when we are talking about the menstrual cycle, it is a 28-day cycle. It is not a 4 to 5 day cycle. Many times females say that it's only 4-day cycle. No, it's a 28-day cycle, and there are 28 days. There are certain one or the other changes are happening in this system, and that's why we are getting the 4-5 days bleeding. So there are 4 phases of this menstruation cycle. First is the menstruation phase, second is follicular phase, third is ovulation phase, and fourth is luteal phase. So when we are talking the first menstruation phase, here the uterine lining, whatever which is prepared for the fetus, is shed off, and because of that we are getting the bleeding, which is of 4 to 5 days bleeding period is there. And after that again uterus lining start to grow again, then again ovulation happen, then the ovary release the ovum. If egg is fertilized, then pregnancy happen. If doesn't fertilize, the uterus is always ready for the baby. It is uterine lining which continues to thicken, and due to the hormonal changes, estrogen and progesterone, when the levels are going up and down, then the menstruation happen. Like this way, this 28-day cycle is going on. It doesn't mean only 4 to 5 days are important. Every day is important, because every day one or the other changes are happening within female body, and each day showing different changes. Like during menstruation, everybody is facing this abdominal cramp and the backache or the leg pain because you are menstruating. But the other days also there are other things are there. After menstruation, initial few days you may feel the energetic, you can do the work. During ovulation, you see the change in the temperature level. After this ovulation period, then you may feel the bloating in the abdomen kind of sensation. So these are the normal changes that are happening within this system. So when this turn up into the pathology, when the females are overexerting their self, overexerting their system, and it land up into the pathological problem. So these are the daily tasks females are doing: getting up early in the morning, cooking for the family, getting kids ready for the school, sending them to the school, then get ready for the office, go run for the office, then go into the office, whole day working, again coming back, household work are there. And this all the activity, whole day activity is continuously going on. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you are overexerting yourself, this is converted into the stress. Ultimately, when there is a stress occur, I'm not saying that a stress is a villain of the society. Actually, there are two types of stress are there. Many of them you may not be knowing that the stress is very wonderful when you are having it in acute phase or certain duration of time. But when you are taking that stress for the longer duration of time, it convert into the distress. So there are two types of stress are there. One is the eustress and second is a distress. Eustress is very good for body, which help you to accomplish your goal, which gives you energy to fulfill your wish. But if you are under stress for longer duration of time, the same stress can convert into the distress. And once you land up into the distress, there are various kind of the different changes are happening within our body. So to occur this stress, there are certain stresses are there always behind it. So this kind of stresses females are every day facing. Like a simple, if we take an example, which dress should I wear today or which veggie should I cook today? This is a simple kind of thing actually, but it happens, I don't know, automatically, I don't know why, but it happens, and it's not with you, but with everybody. Even I face the same thing in the morning. So you should schedule up the thing. Yes, on Monday you can wear this, Tuesday, for every day you can prepare the thing. No worries, don't worry about this. If anybody doesn't understand or don't feel good how you look, it's their problem, it's not your problem. Just keep these stresses away. These are the simple things that you can avoid, like the low battery. Yes, many a times it happens, you get up and you forgot to put on the charger. So at that time, these stresses come. Then the many a times if you wanted to do certain emergency work of office and you are not able to load the file, that time the simple stress happens. Don't worry, it takes time, it's okay. Keep your mind calm. Don't allow your mind to get many thoughts. Relax your mind and handle with this all the things. Now you know every Monday we have to go to the office. So prepare your mind for that. No need to distract. So these are the simple stresses that you can remove from your mind, and it will be very helpful for you. But if you are not able to remove this, then it affects your system. So we are going to play a simple game to understand the stress, because many a times females or anyone going through the stress, they take it as a granted one. Okay, they think that it is a part and parcel of life. You have to be under stress all the time, but it's not. So let's play one game. Now I can see the change in the expression. Everybody's very interested to become a kid. Yes, everybody is laughing. Yes, so let's play this game. So what you have to do in this game, you have to take your phone or water bottle, whichever thing which is near beside you, in your right hand, and then you have to raise your hand up above your head straight. Okay, and you have to hold this whatever phone, water bottle. Now tell me, what is the weight of this water bottle or phone? You might be feeling it might be 100 grams or 200 grams. Okay, keep your elbows straight and up above your head. Don't bend your elbows and be in this position till my next instruction. So whenever we are talking about the stress affect your mind as well as body. It doesn't mean it only affect your mind. The mind, then let them affecting the physiological things, like many a times female facing the hyperacidity, sleeplessness, this kind of because of the stress. So this is what is distress. to understand the stress, we are playing this game. Then now you're holding this bottle since last 1 minute. Now the weight of the bottle or the phone is increasing. I can see the facial expressions of the Naina ji and Anjali ji. I can see in front of me. So you can see that the weight is increasing, but the weight of phone is not increasing or bottle is not increasing. It is a pressure which is being created by phone on the system, which you feel like the weight is increasing. Now everybody might be knowing the solution. What is the solution? Keep the phone or the thing down. So this is how the stress is. Unnecessarily we are holding the thoughts, unnecessarily we are holding the things on our head, and we are saying that, oh, I'm getting this problem. Actually, the solution everybody knows. Just the solution is keeping the things away or away from the body. That's the only thing that you have to do. But many a times we forget that we are holding something in our hand, because we are under the one or the other activities always going on, and because of that many times female face this thing. So this stress affect your PNEI axis. Now what is this PNEI axis? Actually, PNEI axis is psycho neuro endocrino immunological axis. Means what? The impact of stress affect your neurological system as well as neurological system first, then endocrine, and then immunological system, and which land up into the various problems. And whenever we are talking about this PNEI axis, actually this is a modern terminology used by the scientists, but in yogic philosophy it is called as Adhija Vyadhi. Adhija Vyadhi means what? First your mind get affected, and then whatever signs and symptoms you are seeing here is the physiological thing. So the first mind affected, and impact of that, you can see the physiological changes which turn into the pathology. So what kind of ailments our female are facing because of stress? So stress affect, initially you can see the irritability, behavioral changes, emotional distress you may face. Then it impact or it land up into the physiological. It affect your hypothalamo pituitary endocrinal axis, which land up into the affection of endocrine system. So endocrine system is one of the important system of your body which deals with the hormones. And one of the important organ or the gland that we have in females is the ovaries. Many a times it impact on ovaries, and then we can see the hormonal changes. Nowadays, female are using these hormonal changes very easily. Like everybody, whoever comes, oh, I'm having some hormonal problem. That's why I'm facing this thing. But what is this hormonal problem? Where it comes from? Because of this psychological thing, now it affects your system, and you're seeing these hormonal changes. Sometimes it affects your immunological functions, and you'll end up into the disorders. So what are the common ailments? What are the common ailments females are facing? So these are the below listed common ailments female are facing due to the distress or the impact of stress on endocrine system, that is on ovaries. So what is this? So first is dysmenorrhea, which is very common. Take it, many female take it granted that like it is a part of our life. We have to, many times they go to the doctor give them some painkiller or other treatment, and they feel like, oh, okay, then it's done. But it's not done. It continuously going on one after another, and we are just suppressing the thing. For that, we need to think over that. So dysmenorrhea is a painful menses where the many female facing the abdominal cramps during the menses, backache during the menses, leg pain during the menses. These are the very common symptoms they are facing. Then amenorrhea, that is the abscess of menses. An abscess of menses may lead to the bloating all over the body, lethargic feeling. These are the common symptoms they face. Then menorrhagia, that is the abnormal heavy bleeding happens. Now here I would like to ask you all one question. What is normal bleeding and what is abnormal bleeding? So what does it is? Normal bleeding means how much amount it is. Can anybody knows about this? How much is the normal bleeding that we bleed every month? Like now I can see, yes, Naina ji.
About 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days we are bleeding, but how much amount? In milliliters, how much it is?
I don't know, maybe a few pads a day.
Yeah, few pads whenever we are talking, it measures about the 80 to 120 ml. This much of the blood loss happened during the whole of the period. So you should know this is the actual measurement. And how to measure with a spoon? If you measure with a teaspoon, it's like a 3 to 4 spoon. You can measure that much of the bleeding is happening during the menstrual cycle. But when we get to know about the menorrhagia, abnormal heavy bleeding, when female face dizziness, drowsiness, dullness, sometimes they get giddiness and they fall on the floor, and then they go to the doctor and doctor say, oh, your hemoglobin is too low, you are anemic. So anemia occur because of what? Because of this. And this heavy bleeding, now it is very important to understand heavy bleeding means what? This amount of bleeding, if you are having, that is the normal one. But if you are having more than this, then that is called as heavy bleeding. So you should understand, if you take a teaspoon of blood, it will take hardly, if you are changing pad every 4 hourly, it's okay, fine for your protection, hygiene purpose. But here, when we are saying the heavy menstruation, you need to change a pad every hourly, every half an hourly. Okay, so that is the tendency that you have to take it in mind. In first 2 days, you are feeling like this, then you are having menorrhagia, keep it in mind. So this is a very common nowadays, many females are facing. Then metrorrhagia, uterine bleeding at irregular interval due to the fibroid or other uterine problem, like eclampsia is there. So because of that, they are getting the irregular bleeding. Like after menstruation of 5 days, they are getting bleeding again after 8 days or 2 days. So this is a irregular bleeding is happening due because of the fibroid. Then oligomenorrhea is cycle is prolonged than 7 weeks. Polymenorrhea is cycle is shorter than 3 weeks. Then premenstrual syndrome is like before menses. Many female are facing this, like before menses. 7 to 8 days they are facing back pain, leg pain, and they get to know like menses are occurring in few days. So this is not a normal thing. You have to work on, you have to give attention to these changes. Now PCOD. Now I have here in Pune, like more about 50% of females are facing with this PCOD problem. It's very, very common. I don't know why. The environmental changes or eating habit all impacting on this system, and many female are facing PCOD because of that. Unnatural hair growth on face and unnatural weight gain, this kind of problem they are facing because of the PCOD. And many times they come to me and they tell me that they read it on Google and they say that, oh ma'am, I'm having obesity, that's why I got this PCOD. No, it's not like that. There is other changes are happening within your body, and that's why you're getting this problem. So to remove this, all the things, actually thousands years back, there is an easy mantra to remove this, all the miseries of life. It was given in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says that if you want to remove all the miseries of life, just follow this mantra. And what is this mantra? Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasu karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yoga bhavati dukha. What does it mean? Those who are temperate in eating and recreation. Temperate means what? Balance. Okay, balance in eating and recreation, balance in work, and balance in your sleeping habit can remove all the sorrows and miseries of life. This is a simple mantra. We just read and leave the things, but what does it mean? We will see step by step. What is the meaning of temperate in eating and recreation? Everything we will see step by step. So this is the mantra which was written in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 17th sutra, which was very beautifully explained in Bhagavad Gita. We just read and leave the thing. But what does it mean? So let's see ahead. So what is the meaning of balanced diet? Balanced diet is the food that whatever you are eating, that should give proper nourishment to your each and every cell of the body. Why we eat the food? To get energy, everybody knows. Many times answer come, oh, we eat because we feel hungry. We don't want to eat food. But nowadays, many females are saying, we are not eating food, still we are getting fat. I don't know what happened to my body. I'm just growing with air. I'm just eating air and I'm fooling. So this is the answer come, but it's not like that actually. There are genes that you have to keep it in mind, and you can reduce your weight very easily. So when you feel hungry, you can have lots of fruit and vegetable. You have to give more importance to this thing. You might be knowing this year we are celebrating the millet year of millets. You might be knowing. So millets are very, very healthy for you. It's a superfood. If you have a millet are very easy to digest, and it is very good to reduce your weight, and which provide you whatever nutritions are required by the cell. Then next important thing is eat when you are truly hungry. Okay, many a times what happened, friend come, she offers chips or any chocolate, we immediately put it into system. Don't do like that. Fix your timing of meal, like breakfast, whatever, lunch and dinner, 3 times if you are eating. Have your food, whatever you want to eat in this 3 timing only. Don't put anything into your system unnecessarily if anybody is offering. Next important thing is eat slowly. Slowly means you have to chew your food 32 times. And nowadays we are so in hurry that we grab our food. Many times we push the food and we run for the other activities. But it is very bad habit. Give time for your food. So look food, you have to eat your food with your 5 senses, with your eyes, with your touch feeling, then with your taste. So all these 5 senses involved in the process of eating, it is very important. But many a times what happens, what we do, our whole attention in our other activities, what colleagues are saying, what mother fathers are saying, or our business activities are going on. Don't do like this. Then do not skip your breakfast. Yes, it is very, because it is the first meal of your day. Why I'm saying, because you are eating at night 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever is the timing, and in the morning 9 o'clock. So totally 12 hours, we are not having anything into our system. So it's a big time. Okay, so it is very important to have a breakfast, and you can have a breakfast that should be like a king. It has been said that you can have a breakfast like a king and dinner like a beggar. So the breakfast, whatever you are eating, add more fruits, vegetable into that, and the things that gives you a nourishment. In yoga, it has been said that you can have a mitahara. Mitahara means what? The food which fulfill your hunger. So you have to 3/4 of hunger should be fulfilled with the food, and 1/4 of hunger should be, you have to keep empty your stomach for other things, like we are drinking the water and other processes are happening after eating. So you have to fulfill your hunger only 3/4. One part you have to keep empty. But what we do, we, like you can see in the plate, we just put the thing into the system. And everybody knows we are eating for getting energy, but after eating, we, instead of feeling energetic, we feel sleepy. It happens. How many times it happened to you? After eating, you feel sleepy or dull. So why this is happening, you know? Because if we are eating more than our requirement, our stomach required more energy to digest it. Okay, and for that digestion, our whole blood supply get diverted to the stomach, and our brain and other cells of the body get less blood supply. So at that time, nervous system take a decision. Okay, you just lie down to relax yourself or sleep for a while. That's why we are feeling sleepy after eating. So have food by keeping your, if you eat half, it's very good, but don't overeat. Then next is do not get thirsty. After food, having water is very important. We forget to drink water many times. We feel thirsty. We didn't get proper time to drink water. Water is very important part of our body. Our body is actually 70% is made up of water. So that much is the requirement. You should have at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day. If it's summer, more, you increase your water take more as per the environmental changes. Then next is do not sleep immediately after eating. Now why? Because if you sleep immediately eating the food which you have eaten, there are chances of regurgitation of food. And food comes up and there are chances we are inhaling, exhaling every time. So the food may enter into your respiratory system and there are chances of having pneumonia. To prevent that, it has been said that don't sleep immediately after food. If you are sleeping, these changes are happening, regurgitation happen unknowingly many a time. So at least keep a 2 hours gap between your bedtime and food. If you had a food, then you can have a Shatapauli. Shatapauli means what? At least 100 steps walk you can do after eating, proper digestion of food. Then do not do exercise immediately after eating. In yoga, many times female ask me, now I had a food or breakfast, can I have yoga? No, don't do any asanas actually immediately after. again the regurgitation happen, and you may feel tired after doing yoga instead of getting energy. So these are the things you have to keep it in mind. These are the small changes that you have to do within yourselves to have this balanced diet. Next is the balanced sleep or rest. That is the favorite topic of everyone's. I can see everybody. So sleep is very important part of body because it gives rest to your inner systems. So if you how to make a schedule, because our sleep cycle is controlled by one of the important gland named as pineal gland. It is located just near to the pituitary gland, and it controls your sleep cycle. It is known as circadian cycle. What does it mean? If you are getting up at 5 o'clock every day, so initially few days you need to put on the alarm, but after that automatically you wake up. Why? Because of this cycle, because of this pineal gland which stimulate your system to get up. So if your sleeping habits are not proper, you're getting bed at 10 o'clock, getting up at 7 o'clock, or sometimes 12, sometimes 3. If it is happened, so it affects your pineal gland and sleeping disorders are started happening. So stick to your sleep cycle. It is very important. So have a proper bed. If you are not feeling sleepy, read any book. You can do the meditation practices. You can do the Bhramari Pranayam. So this is very interesting thing. To reduce the stress, you can do this Bhramari Pranayam to calm down your mind and relax your mind. So what it is, how to do is this, I will teach it to you now. So you have to just keep calmly on your bed. Then you have to put the fingers into the ears. Okay. And how to do this Bhramari? You have to inhale, and while exhalation, you have to create a honeybee sound resembling to the honeybee. Everybody might be knowing the sound of honeybee. So you have to create that sound and see the changes. Now we all will practice. I will show you one time and then you can repeat it for 3 times. So keep your fingers into the ears. Inhale. 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 Now just observe the breaths and calmness. And then keep the fingers down. You can feel more calm after doing this. So these are the simple practices you can incorporate in your day-to-day life to achieve that calmness. Then avoid heavy meal before sleep. Keep your electronic devices out. Now what is it? Because now everybody is attached to the Netflix, Hotstar. There are a lot many, and Amazon Prime. There are a lot many things are there. People are like social media. Take example of social media. Once you open the phone, it grabs your 2 hours very immediately. And when you are getting into the bed 10 o'clock and your sleeping timing is 1 or 2, so it again affects your cycle. So keep your electronic devices out of bedroom directly. It's very important. Then next is avoid coffee at night, because many times coffee gives you a trigger excitement. So please avoid this. Then avoid day naps. If you are sleeping in the day, how would you get a sleep at night? So just relax. Don't have a day naps. You can have a proper sleep at night. And 7 hours sleep is enough for our body, for all the recreation, because there are certain systems in our body, they are working, still we are sleeping, but just they go into the passive mode, little calm mode. Okay, so it is very important. Then next is the balance work and action. Yes, it is very important to balance between the work and life. So always you have to give importance equally to the both the things, otherwise you may land up into the guilt. I'm not giving time to the family, I'm not giving proper time to my kids. So don't feel that guilt, don't follow that guilt, just have a balance, manage your time. And it is very important, learn say no. If you are not have a time, if you don't get a time to do things, just say no, I don't have a time, I'm not able to do it today. It is very important. Now you are working, take a micro breaks in between. If you feel tired, just close your eyes. You can do this Bhramari Pranayam or deep breaths. It is very good to do. Then use your lunch break properly. Don't mix your business thing and your lunch together. No. Many times it happens like females are, no, it's okay, I will do this work in lunchtime. No. Have your food properly. Prioritize your health. Your health is very important. Make space for the family. Now I have seen that working female are not able to attend the PTA in school, and then kids come back to them. Oh, all mothers are there. You was not there, but you have to think the other women are also working. They are not able to attend. At that time, you should be confident to tell your kid that it's okay. Next time I will be there. And there are other things are also there. I'm doing this thing for you. Okay, it's very important. Just say it with the confidence. Don't feel any kind of guilt. Okay, then ask for the help when it is necessary. Many females feel themselves as a super queen. They want to do everything by their own because they want to do the things very accurately and properly. So they grab their work. Don't ask for help. Divide the work in the family or the office, whatever it is. It is very important. Now I am going to teach you certain like calming and restorative yoga practices that you can do to reduce this stress level. So simple practice, everybody might be knowing the simple practice Kapalbhati. Everybody knowing Kapalbhati. Just keep it in mind, certain instruction for Kapalbhati. You should avoid Kapalbhati during the menstruation phase when you are bleeding. Then pregnancy, if anybody is having hypertension and heart disease at that time, you can do, but with a precaution. Okay, so Kapalbhati, you can do. It takes just 1 minute to do this practice. Just do it. It helps to clean your system. It activates your sensory organ. The asanas, like you can do the Tadasana, which improves the circulation throughout the body. You can do the Bhadrasana, which improves the pelvic strength. Okay, improves the circulation to the pelvic organ and help to reduce the menstrual problem. Vakrasana is very good, which strengthens the pelvic organ and gives proper massage to the pelvic organ. Even Makarasana is one of the relaxing pose. You will lie down on our abdomen and feel the relaxation. It gives massage to the internal abdominal organ, improves their function. Nadi Shodhan pranayam is very helpful. That is the balancing pranayam, where you have to do the alternate nostril breathing. And Viparita Karni. Viparita Karni is the procedure where you have to take your legs up and head down. You might be feeling this is very difficult, but at that time you can use pillow below your hip, so it will be easy for you. You can rest your hip on the pillow and you can be in this position. So these are the few practices that you can practice regularly. I didn't mention any advanced asanas, Shirshasana and Mayurasana, and there are a lot many things are there. Females are very fond of these asanas they wanted to do. But after a work of whole day, you cannot do this all the things. If you are doing, you feel more tired and more exhausted. At that time, you should go for these other relaxing asanas and feel the change in your life. Now, just to understand this stress, you have to just ask certain question to yourself. I'm going to read this question for you. What you have to do? You have to open your phone, open the calculator. Okay. And this question, after answering the question, you have to, if the answer is yes, you have to give 1 mark. If answer is no, it's 0 mark. There are total 25 questions are there. You have to give 1 mark to each one, or 0, whatever. Yes answer, 1 mark. And no answer, 0 mark. Okay. And ultimately, what you have to do, you have to calculate all this. And then after whatever scores come, I will tell you what it is. Okay. So let's start with this, please. Everybody is ready with this? Mobile phone? Yes? Put on the calculator in front of you. Yes, very good. Now, first question is, this is for you. You frequently bring work home at night. If answer is yes, put 1, no, 0. Next question. I don't get enough hours in the day to do all the things that I must do. If yes, add 1. If no, 0. I deny or ignore the problems in the hope that they will go away. Next question is, I do the job myself to ensure they are done properly. Next is, I underestimate how long it takes to do things. Next is, I feel that there are too many deadlines in my work life that are difficult to meet. You have to keep on adding the thing. My self-confidence and self-esteem is lower than I would like it to be. I frequently have guilty feeling if I relax or do nothing. I find myself thinking about problems even when I'm supposed to be relaxing. Next is I feel fatigued or tired even when I wake after an adequate sleep. I often nod or finish other people's sentences for them when they speak slowly. I have a tendency to eat, talk, walk, and drive quickly. You have to keep adding one thing. My appetite has changed. Have either a desire to binge, means more eating, or have a loss of appetite, or may skip meals. Next question is, I feel irritated or angry if the car or traffic in front seems to be going too slowly. I become very frustrated at having to wait in a queue. If something or someone really annoys me, I will bottle up, repress my feeling. When I play sport or games, I really try to win whoever I play. I experience mood swings, difficulty making decision, concentration and memory is impaired. I find fault and criticize others rather than praising or even if it is deserved. Next question is, I seem to be listening even though I am preoccupied with my own thoughts. Next question is, my sex drive is lower. Can experience the changes to menstrual cycle. I find myself grinding my teeth. Next question is, increase in muscular ache, pains, especially in neck, head, lower back, shoulder region. Next question is, I am unable to perform tasks as well as I used to. My judgment is clouded or not as good as it was. Next is, I find I have a greater dependency on alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, or other drugs. It's not always the bad way. Even if the allopathic medicines are there, then I find that I don't have time for many interests or hobbies outside of work. Okay, now I will tell you what is the score. So if your score is between 0 to 4, then you are having very less stress or no stress. If your score is between 4 to 13, then you are under stress. You're feeling stress at mind level, sometimes irritation and anger. You can change this by doing the meditation or yoga practices. You can take a help of even counseling too. Next, if your score is above 14, then you might be facing the physiological changes like hyperacidity or the menstrual problems are there or sleeplessness. These are the physiological problems you might be facing. You can go back or you can treat yourself by taking help of other things like doing yoga practices, by following these principles in your life, taking help from the counseling. So these are the changes if you do, you can see the tremendous change in this stress level. So till now, what we learned, so how to be happy, how to remove all the miseries of life is eat healthy, sleep soundly, work happily, breathe deeply, and do the restorative asanas and follow your me time. By this way, I'm ending here. Yes, we are stopping here does not mean the program is over. Here is the real program start. Just one lifestyle change can shift me from stress to happiness. The small thing create a big change in the life. Just follow it. Happy mind, happy life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This was wonderful. And again, thank you for reminding us that yoga means much more than asanas, that it's actually a way of life. So this is, a good reminder of that, especially for those living in the West. I mean, yoga is a way of life. So anyone who has questions for Dr. Shwetamari Chothe, please raise your hand. We're a small enough group so we can do this together. So please, the floor is open. While you get your questions together, I'll go first while people get their thoughts together. Ma'am, what do you think about intermittent fasting, which of course has been in yoga forever? You did mention it, but everyone now, I mean, there's a craze. our people have been doing it for millennia, right? But what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, it's actually, Anjali ji, it's a great question that you ask actually, because nowadays it's so, you can call it as the kind of fashion thing is going on, intermittent fasting. If you do, I can reduce my weight. It is very good to control the diabetes. No, don't listen to anybody. Listen to your body, what your body wants. You have your own doctor within yourself. Listen to it there first your body, what your mind is saying, what your body is saying. Don't listen to the others. When we try to follow, all are following, that's why I'm doing, you may land up into the complication, because intermittent fasting is not that much good. If your body is saying you are hungry, when you're feeling hungry, there are certain kind of enzymes and things are already changed within your body. The gastric fire already be stimulated. If we are not calming down that fire, there are chances of the irritation inside the muscles of the abdomen, stomach. There are chances of having the gastric ulcers too, if you are not following for longer duration of time. So first, listen to your own body. It's very difficult to change your habit. You can go it slowly if you want to change, not suddenly. That's why fasting is not good for your life. Always, whatever you wanted to do it in balanced way. Mithahar is very important. Nor fasting, nor overeating. You should have your food as per your requirement.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. Who else has a question for our speaker today?
Yes, Naina ji. You're on mute, Naina ji. Please unmute yourself, Naina ji. Actually, it's
Anjali ji, thank you for asking that question. That was my question as well. Intermittent fasting. So, and thank you, ma'am, for answering that. That cleared my mind.
Yes, actually, I would love to add one thing. Your own doctor is within yourself. Don't listen to anybody. Many times you go to the dietitian and dietitian gives you a plan. But who is that third person going to decide your schedule? First, you know your own schedule, and then only you can understand what the front person is saying. So first, give priority to yourself. You have your own doctor. You might be knowing the when animals get sick, what they do. They just do the fasting. They have very light food, or they do the vomiting, cleansing of internal water. So they don't go to the veterinary doctor, no? They just try to listen their own body. So if your body is saying to you that I am hungry, I should have food, then you should have. Don't avoid that, because gastric juices already started secreting. If you are not having, you might be knowing the SCL is one of the ingredients of gastric juices. They start corroding the internal flora of the stomach. And then ultimately the gastric ulcers are very common, hyperacidity kind of things happen.
So again, this is just baby me, but when I eat something in the morning, like you said, eat like a king in the morning. So, and I do try that for my own learning. I feel more craving after, and I feel like eating also lunch and also 4 o'clock. And so somehow my appetite, opens up. Maybe it's me. Is that true?
Okay, it's okay if your body is asking. Just try to have the fresh fruits and vegetables more than the other thing. The whatever you are saying that you are getting the cravings. Cravings are due to the sugar and salt. These are the two important things that makes you crave. Like, oh, I need to have something now. So you just reduce the amount of this salt and the sugar in your diet, and then tell me.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Next person. Shwetamriji, while people get their questions together. Many times we hear from yoga teachers for women to not do Shirsasana. Anything that is a headstand, anything inverted. I've heard things back and forth like, don't do this. And then other yoga teachers say there's no issues with any of that. It's not going to mess up anything in the body if you do a headstand. So what are your thoughts on that?
About the advanced asanas, or if you are talking about the Shirshasana, anybody can do the Shirshasana, no worries about that, but don't do it suddenly. Because every time we are in erect posture, our blood supply is as a gravity, more pulled down to the earth. When you do Shirshasana, suddenly the pattern change. Your blood supply to the legs goes to the brain. Many times you are not able to cope up with that problem and the complication occur. If you do under the proper guidance of Guru, then it's a good thing. Okay. Then second important thing, avoid Shirshasana during menstruation. Don't do Shirshasana during menstruation. Reason behind it, what? We are bleeding during menstruation. Blood flow as a gravity, it is coming out of the body as a gravity downside. If you do the Shirshasana, whatever blood flow which is coming as a gravity down, as a gravity, it remains inside when you do the head down. So it remains into the sac back again. And there are chances of clotting happen. And then the complication maybe happen. That's why it is. So during menstruation, avoid it. And if you are doing under the guidance of the proper guru, then it's perfectly fine. Everyone can do. And there are certain techniques are there to do.
Okay, thank you. Who else has a question for Dr. Chote? I don't want to dominate. I have a list of questions. Is that for women? I know, I mean, of course, super busy lives. And people do ask me this too, but I want to hear your thoughts. What is there a better time during the day for women to do yoga? Like, are mornings better for the feminine gender to do yoga? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are like, you can do as per your comfort. First important thing. Don't do yoga in hurry and worry. You should give a proper time to the yoga practices. And best time is the early morning, that is Brahma Muhurta. Everybody might be knowing the concept of Brahma Muhurta. That is 1 hour before the sunset, if you sunrise, if you are doing the yoga, that is the best time because of the natural vibes, good vibes are there in the universe, and naturally our body is also holding with that. That's why it's the best time. But there is not only that Brahma Muhurta is the best, but there are other times are there, like midday, then evening, midnight. These are the 4 phases has been written in the Hatha Yogic textbook. That are the 4 timings. At that timings, if you are doing, you are going to get more benefit of the practices.
Thank you. Another question, I mean, this is just for everybody's benefit. What should be the gap between your last meal and physical practice?
At least there should be a 2.5 hour gap between your, at least, because why I'm saying that, again, this food remains into our stomach cavity for 2.5 hours or 2 hours for the further process of grinding, mixing of gastric juices and all the things are, it takes around 2.5 hours. So you can do after that practice. Okay. Because food is already into the stomach. If you do immediately, there are chances of regurgitation. After 2.5 hours, food then push into the intestine, your stomach cavity is empty. Then you can practice very easily.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, we have 3 more minutes. And again, I don't want to dominate. Does anyone else have burning question for Dr. Chote? Dr. Chote, wherever you live, do you see as stress being the #1 issue that women have when they come see you? Is that the #1 issue that you see?
Yeah, it's a very common, and they are taking, like, underestimating the thing. Actually, stress is not an issue. Stress is okay, but you should understand where to stop.
I see. And the kinds of things that you offer, will you kind of tell us about that, and then also tell us about Swasti Yoga Center as we kind of bring this to a close? Just tell us about your work and what you do on the ground, please.
Yes, thank you so much for giving this opportunity to tell me this, all the things. Actually, initially, what actually we started with these courses like few years back. Before that, I was working as a homeopath, as well as still I am working as a homeopath. But that time I was working as a homeopath. Along with that, I teach the asanas and various yogic practices to the patients only. I'm not going ahead with that. directly to the courses, or I didn't go into the courses directly. First, I was like, we were working into the preventive medicine to prevent the various kind of disorders. Then ultimately we get to know, when we became an examiner, we get to know the many people having a wrong knowledge about the yoga and yogic philosophy. At that time, we turn up into this, because as a single person, I cannot reach to the thousands of people or millions of people. But if I teach to them, my students can reach up to the millions of people. There's a basic thing is that we have to work into the preventive, and yoga has a main role in preventive medicine. That is the thing. What is the meaning of prevention? Before going to the doctor, or before landing into the disease, what kind of precaution that we can do? Like, take an example of dengue. What we took a precaution for dengue, we have a mosquito net and mosquito preventives. Lot many things are there. This is a prevention kind of thing. So for every disorder, everything, there is a prevention is there. And nowadays, psychosomatic disorders are increasing. That's why yoga plays very important roles. As per the Patanjali, you should follow the Chitta Prasadhan technique that are helpful to calm down the mind, and you may not land up into the further problem. Even in Bhagavad Gita, the same thing is been given. So these are the things like very, very important in your life. That's why we thought of working on that. And initially we are working on that preventive, then we end into these courses. And so we are running the institute, which is accredited by Government of India. Here we do the various kind of courses which are accredited with the Government of India. Even we are having our own different courses. Here we teach to the, it's the concept of train the trainers. So we teach the yoga professional, we train them, and then they can have their own things ahead.
Wonderful. And I understand you get students from all over the world.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I know. So I know whoever's wanting to go visit them when in India, please do so. And Dr. Chote, I want to thank you for your time. And again, reminding us that yoga is something that is applicable to every moment of one's life. It's not just something you do in the morning or evening or whatnot. So thank you so much. For those who want to catch this, of course, please do find us, Indology Academy, on YouTube, and this will remain there forever for people as a resource. Namaste.
Yes. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening me patiently. Thank you so much. Naina ji is asking, it's in Pune, Chinchwad. Chinchwad. It's in Chinchwad. You all welcome. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, guys.
Namaste. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fun watching you video. Yes, I saw your hour. I had it on TV. Right. Yeah, it's a good message. Yeah.